I'm so glad I'm able to finally return the favor to you.
I know. How many years have you and I been talking?
A long time.
A long time.
Yeah.
Don't you think? I mean, for sure.
Yeah. At least 15, I would think. If I had to peg it, 20.
Fuck.
I know. I've been out in LA 23 years now.
That is insane.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been out here 23 years. That's my last sports center was in 2003.
I mean, how much has the world, the sports world changed? Yeah. Sports Center changed.
Big time. Totally.
I mean, if you had to pick the single 2 or 3 biggest headlines in sports that are different than 10, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Let's go 15 years ago.
Sure.
What would they
be?
Oh, okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Here's what we're going to do.
Sure.
We're going to do by sport.
Okay.
And we're going to compare notes.
Okay.
Let's start with, well, we're in the middle of football. We're not in the middle of it.
Right.
We're
towards the end, yeah.
So let's go with football.
Oh, God. Anything gambling.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Anything gambling.
Of course.
You know, like when we first started NFL Network in 2003, when we first started it, it was anything to do with gambling, anything to do with remotely close to gambling was verboten.
Right. They'd jump all over you.
Right. And now there's like 2 or 3 official gambling partners of the National Football League.
It's unbelievable.
You know, and then we on NFL Game Day morning on our Sunday morning show, we'll have a segment at the end of our first hour all the time. It's called, Hurry Up Offense, where we come up with 10 to 12 quick hitters for each. There's 60 seconds on the clock, and I ask of all my colleagues, Mariucci and Kurt Warner, Gerald McCoy, and prior to that was Michael Irvin, and they're all questions that are, absolutely fig-leafed gambling questions, all of them, every last one of them.
Every last one.
Yeah, so that's different.
What
Have we started, by the way?
Yeah, this is it.
This is how it works?
This is how we do it.
Okay, cool.
This is how we do it. Man.
Okay.
Just go
Okay,
right
good.
into it.
Okay. I love it.
Right? So easy.
I don't want to talk about gambling. What do you mean? No.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Am I going to get
this thing on?
Is this thing?
But, I didn't know.
But it's funny when you talk, I do think about, like, do we like the gambling? Do we not like?
Well, the players don't like it.
They don't like it.
No, because there's people who are really pissed at them. Because it used to be back in the day, I'm sure there's always been people who get angry at a result because they've lost money on it. Gambling's been going on forever. But now it's easier access. People put a little bit here, a little bit there. They can do it in the palm of their hand. So, yeah, I had you down for 50 rushing yards and you only had 45.
Why'd you run out of bounds?
Yeah, why'd you run out of bounds?
You had another 3 right in front of you.
Why would you stop running just because stopping running keeps the clock running and your team wins, but you made me lose? So
right.
It's a little bit, I've heard from players who say it's become much more nasty, the relationship between fan and player.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it makes perfect sense.
I
wonder if it's an unintended consequence. I mean, there's always unintended consequences to anything. I wonder.
That may be for any sport in what you're saying. I mean, like gambling for any sport. NBA is even, crazier from what I've been told. It's even crazier with
That's
players,
really crazy.
where they can make, I apparently gamble whether it's going to be a make or a miss every time down the floor, real time stuff.
I can't. I mean, look, luckily, I think we've talked about this. I've got a lot of isms, Jesus Christ. But one of the isms I don't have is the gambling ism.
Right. Which is good.
Which is really good, man. I could walk through a casino every day of my life, never, ever, ever be tempted to put anything down. And the same on sports. I don't need the gambling, and I don't need it to watch with interest either.
Me neither. And, fantasy football's, I guess, a more passive version of it.
And I loved fantasy football until here's what turned me out with fantasy football finally is, one of the things the NFL has changed is their just the revolving door of running backs.
Yeah.
It's so hard to.
You can't figure it out.
You can't figure it out. So how do you draft them? I think auto draft. Just let it auto draft.
Just let the computer do it for you.
Let the computer do it.
Yeah, but you're right. It is an ism in the fact that, I know you're an Ohio guy, and I'm sure you were a Pete Rose guy growing up.
I was just thinking about it.
Right?
Yeah.
That if Pete, when everything went down, if Pete had gone on the same, if you will, tour as Mickey Mantle did towards the end of his days, where Mickey went on, wrote a book, went on the talk show circuit, did the Today shows and all that sort of stuff, talking about his alcoholism and how it made him a worse dad and a worse everything. And if Pete had done that sort of tour about gambling, I think he would have been in the Hall of Fame
100%
before he died.
Before he died, yeah, he and I knew Pete fairly well. He was his own worst enemy. I mean, he was.
I bet
he just was unrepentant about it because he said, "I never bet on my team to lose."
Right.
The fix was not.
I know that's what he said. I mean, I don't know. Gambling is, again, it is an ism.
Yeah.
So, but if he had basically said, "Don't be like me," I know there's millions of people whose family life and, parent life and, work life got upended because of gambling. Don't be like me. Mea culpa.
Yeah, for sure.
He'd be in Cooperstown. I really always thought that. Always.
I'm curious to see what happens if his, because he was not interested in it posthumously, famously.
Yeah.
He's like, if I don't get it when I'm alive, I don't need it when I'm dead. And I wonder if the kids,
maybe they should. I mean, listen, I show my kids Pete Rose videos.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
Right.
I mean, listen, if you're a sports fan out there and you haven't looked at Pete Rose's numbers,
right?
It's bananas.
Yeah,
you can't believe it. It's fake. It's like
it is like fake. And the same thing, in the recent conversation about Bill Belichick being passed over for first ballot enshrinement.
Okay, let's get down with that. Okay. And what is the Bill Polian thing? What's going on? I'm missing something here.
So Bill Polian is a Pro Football Hall of Famer in his own right.
Yes.
And an NFL guy through and through.
Big Peyton Manning Colts.
Yeah. And so you know that era of the Peyton Manning versus Tom Brady, early parts of Peyton's career and early parts of Brady's career.
Right.
That the Patriots got the better of the Colts more often than not.
Yes, exactly.
And so the Patriots stood in Peyton Manning and the Colts' way every year, with the exception, I believe, of one.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
He finally got past them.
Yep.
And Polian was also in charge of the competition committee, or was very influential in it, where there were some rules that got reemphasized about how you can defend receivers and being able to put your hands on them, because the Patriots were manhandling Marvin Harrison Sr., and then eventually Reggie Wayne and things of that nature. So there's always been a Patriots Colts thing, especially even after Polian. Deflategate,
of course,
was one of the gates that keeps getting mentioned with Bellichick's lack of first ballot enshrinement. And even though the deflated football in question that sparked it all was intercepted by the Colts, one of the few good plays the Colts had in that AFC Championship game. But so there's a lot of axe grinding accusations, and certainly the article that beat everyone to the punch before the Hall of Fame announcement occurred is that Polian was one of the 50 selectors, or is one of the 50 selectors for the Hall of Fame. And in the conversation about Belichick's candidacy, mentioned a few things here or there about the warts. The punishment would be fitting if he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, even though there's been a lot of pushback since that report that he never did that. The problem with Polian also in this respect is when it first was broken by ESPN that Bellichick was not going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He told Polian, and this was mentioned in the article, that Polian was an architect of it, or at least somebody was trying to lead that cause. he told Sports Illustrated that was an uncategorical lie and that he did, in fact, vote for Bellichick. The original reporters of the article from ESPN then contacted Polian, who suddenly could not say for certain who he voted for or
Couldn't
did
say
not.
for certain?
On this, and this was about an hour apart. And the vote was 2 weeks prior, and he just couldn't recall. Which smacks of like, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah, I'd say.
So you asked what the Polian thing is, that's it. But the reason why I bring it up, because you mentioned Pete Rose's stats are just so absurd when you look at them. Just in the conversation about why it is absurd that Bellichick wasn't elected in his first possible year, you mention his numbers, and it's like you're in the middle of it. You're like, why would I even dignify this by citing his numbers?
This is the thing about, and I always felt like at least the Hall of Fame, they're numbers, they're actual numbers.
Right.
I mean, a lot of it is subjective, of course, but it's like you either did it or you didn't do it, as opposed to acting awards,
right,
which is completely subjective, and so therefore way more inclined to be political.
Yes,
and all of that stuff, and about agendas and things like that. But when you think the Hall of Fame is, I mean, it's what more would you need to do to be a first ballot Hall of Famer?
There aren't. Again, the numbers are just absurd. In the same way, also, whenever you watch a game on Fox now that Brady is calling, okay, and they take a shot of the booth, and Kevin Burkhardt's on play-by-play, and Tom's on, as the analyst, and they're standing next to each other, which is automatically like the toughest two-shot in sports.
Yeah, unless there's an apple box.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not just that. Like, I've interviewed Brady before, and I try and bring when Brady was playing, I brought my best Xenia suit. I just brought the tie that would always pop. And then at the two-shot, it looked like I was wearing a burlap sack. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Burkhardt is standing next to Brady, and the graphic at the bottom of the screen says Kevin Burkhardt, and it says NFL on Fox underneath his name. And then Tom Brady, and underneath his name, says 7-time Super Bowl champion.
I mean,
and it's absurd.
When they talk about gaudy numbers,
it's like one of those things. Like, if you didn't know any better, it's like, what should we put for Brady? Like, how many Super Bowls is it? What is it? 7? Just put 7. Like, you're just throwing a number. It's absurd. To the point where I feel like they should put for Kevin Burkhardt the number of Emmy nominations.
Yes.
That, like, give him something other than NFL on Fox. You know what I mean? Like, just it's just so inequitable.
It's and Brady's really become really good.
He's no doubt.
So I'm not crazy. Like, all of a sudden I was like, wait, he's really good now.
Yeah. Because again, like for Tom, there isn't a situation where he'd be like, yeah, I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, I've never been there before. Yeah. It's like, name it.
Why did he get better?
Comfort, I think, repetitions.
Yeah.
And I don't know if anybody gave him this note, or it just naturally happened. And this is why your guy Peyton is so great of a watch on his Manning cast with his brother, not just because you naturally see the same thing with the Kelseys with their podcast, is that you see chemistry and you're attracted to the enjoyment.
Yeah.
And that's what comes through with Brady, is his love and enthusiasm for the moment. And it's not manufactured. It's like, this is amazing. This is great. Like, you could hear he's like a kid.
Yes.
He's like a child playing.
He's let himself have fun.
Correct. And that's infectious. Yeah. That you feel that. And then it's stuff like when you come back from a break and he's just like, yeah, this play is called, and he knows the name of the play, and we used to run it. I preferred to do it, when there was really 90 seconds left in the half. They did it with about 60 seconds left. So, those extra 30 seconds really mean something about more down and distance opportunities. And then you're like, holy shit, like, I didn't think of that.
Right.
And, he's been there and done that. And I guess to bring this all full circle, a lot of that is part and parcel of being coached by Bill Belichick and breaking things down to the nth degree about a matchup or a down and distance or about a time left on the clock or about a hash mark. It's better on this hash mark. It's better on this part of the field.
Yep.
It's better inside the 30 as opposed to in between the 30s. It's an attention to detail that he picked up because he was coached by the most detail-oriented, situationally brilliant head coach who unfortunately would also look at the rule book with that sort of granular,
so good,
aspect, and put it all together.
Baseball used to be that way. I mean, baseball, you would always. There's that great if you're not cheating if
you ain't cheating you ain't trying.
Yeah,
it's the old axiom. I don't know who did that, but if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying is the old axiom.
Yeah,
and in that respect too, with again, I'm reading everything because it's my gig. One of the co-writers of the piece that broke the fact that Bellichick's not getting in. It's two writers. One, a guy named Don Van Natta, who comes from the New York Times world of investigative reporting, and Seth Wickersham, who is an author as well as a reporter for ESPN, and author of many books on the Patriots. So it makes sense the two of them collaborated for this scoop. And Wickersham, in one of his books on the Patriots, said Goodell, when the Spygate stuff happened, which is, recording somebody else's sidelines to get their signals and then being able to translate it by matching it to the game film so you could steal their signals in a future game.
Right.
And they attempted to apparently to try and do it from the first half and use it in the second half, but weren't able to crack that code within a game. But at any rate, Roger Goodell, while investigating it on behalf of the NFL as the commissioner, reached out to a bunch of other coaches to say, what's the scope of this issue that I'm dealing with here? And called up Mike Shanahan, who interestingly enough is still waiting to get in the Hall of Fame despite having 2 Super Bowls. And Shanahan apparently told Goodell, I wish I had done this.
I'd thought of it.
I wish I had thought of it. And it's just really? You're not sitting here saying, my signs are getting stolen, so to hell with him, a pox on his house. He's like, no. There's nothing in the rule book that says what your punishment is, so you might as well just cross the line. Belichick read the rule book. Is there any, what's the punishment for this thing? Well, there's nothing in the rule book talking about your punishment. All right, so then let's do it. And the other famous quote from Seth's book is that Robert Kraft asked Belichick, how much did this help us? The spying, how much? And Belichick quoted him a percentage of 1%. It helped us 1%. He goes,
1%.
He said it helped us 1%. And Kraft's like, well, then you're a schmuck.
Yeah, then that's
that's not the squeeze should get more juice than 1% if we're risking reputation and.
He's not a first balloter.
And draft choices and whatever.
He's not a first balloter
but
because
that's
of it.
Still stupid. Not even when that was going on, no matter how outraged anybody was and how disappointing it was to learn about all this stuff, I never once thought this is disqualifying.
No, I mean
in any way, shape, or form.
That stuff doesn't bother me. I'm more worried about tanking and things like that.
Right. I hear you on that. And just one last thing on the subject matter. So when the NFL turned 100, there was a show called the NFL 100 All-Time Team. And what an honor to have been asked to host it. So I hosted it and they called me up. They're like, it's going to be at NFL Films. We're going to get Chris Collinsworth of NBC and you'll never guess who the other analyst is going to be. I'm like, who? And they said, it's Bill Belichick. And I'm like, holy shit. Really? And they're like, yeah, Bill is carving 3 days out of his schedule in May. So we're going to fly out and you're going to host it at NFL Films. And I'd never really, I'd met Bill before a couple of times. Before that, the most extensive interaction I ever had with him was when I hosted the New England Patriots kickoff dinner one season, where the whole team comes in and hangs out with some season ticket holders and some local business folk of the greater Massachusetts and New England area. And Robert Kraft is there, and it's a big to-do. And Belichick basically told me, sat me down. He goes, listen, the only thing I need from you is just keep this shit moving, okay? Because we got to get this thing. We got practice in the morning. I just don't want to be here till 9. I don't 10 o'clock. I mean, we just don't need it. All right. So just I know you're
Great
good at what
Bellichick.
it's
That's a really good Bellichick.
Dude, it's like, I know you're good at what you do, but just joke here or there. Just move it along. All right. It's basically what he said.
Oh my God,
to me.
that's amazing. I wish I was there for that.
That's what he said. And I'm like, basically like, yes, sir.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I said to him, like, what time do you want me to hit?
Yeah.
And he's like 9 o'clock, and 8:45, 8:45 or whatever. And it was like 8:50 as I'm saying goodbye. And I looked right down at him. I'm like, do your job, right?
Do your job.
I did my job. So that was the extent of my relationship with him, essentially, other than just rarely getting an interview with him. But hanging out with that guy for 2-3 days was unbelievable. And of the many impressions I got, is that if the all-time greats thought he was a fraud, right, with the cheating, or he was cheating the game by cheating, every one of them, when they walked in, because we had all sorts of in-studio guests, Ray Lewis and Jim Brown and Emmett Smith and Mean Joe Green, and just to name 4, Favre, all of them, that you'd think that they would kind of give him a cold shoulder or whatever. They all went up to him, and as if he was a peer, which he was, because he was on he was in the NFL 100 all-time team. I didn't get a whiff of a scent of a hint that they thought he was not one of them. And the other thing I thought, when he would just break down games, and he was a historian. So some of these 100 all-time team members were from the black and white era of film, like from the 40s and the 50s and the 30s. We would leave it up to him because he was such a historian. He knew exactly what they would do. He would break it down on a coach's clicker. It was amazing. He knew everything. And I just thought to myself, how the hell did anybody ever beat him as a coach? How the hell would that happen? I'll never forget it, man. That guy's something else.
I always wanted to do a press conference.
Yeah.
Like Bill. Like literally you got a movie, you're talking to the people who run the Golden Globes.
Yeah.
Whatever, or you're promoting something.
Yeah.
It's a junket.
Yeah.
And just be like, it's a good movie. It's comedy. People like them. That sounds great, Rob. Tell me a little bit more about working with Jodie Foster.
Yeah.
She's a good woman. She's works really hard at her job. She's great in the movie.
Yeah, we're moving on to Gold.
Just how fucking amazing would that be?
We're moving on to Gold member.
Yeah. We're moving on to Gold. Well, it's,
you weren't in that Gold member, right?
I was not.
You were in 2, right?
I was in.
Which one were you in?
I had a scene cut in Austin 1.
Okay.
And then
all over Austin 2.
And all over, Austin 2. And apparently there's talk of
get out of here.
Yeah, a new one.
Come on.
Yeah, it was. I talked to Mike this week. I was just talking to him.
Okay.
And I don't know if it'll happen. This is no way an announcement, but it's just something he's been thinking about a long time.
Baby.
But it would be great. I mean, I think the world needs more Austin Powers.
We just need more laughing. Need more feel good, man. Need more nostalgia. I love it.
You love movies.
Big time.
You're a huge movie fan.
I'm a big pop culture guy. And you notice when you come on my show, I'm always up for your current project.
Yeah.
But I always want to dive into the other stuff. And I find on my show, when I have somebody like you on, talking about some of your more favorite and famous projects, and you tell a backstory, you tell another story, you're like, this happened, that happened. Fans can't get enough of it. The engagement of it, the Instagram version of it, the Reels version of it, can't get enough of it. People can't get enough of stuff like that. And it's a spoke on the pop culture wheel is as thick and unbreakable as sports is. It is.
What's your favorite story that an actor has told you, behind the scenes story?
Man.
Because you have favorite movies like, I think you've had Kevin Pollak on a lot.
He loves telling, he tells great Tom Cruise stories. Few Good Men stuff.
Few Good Men stories.
Seinfeld told us the backstory of the famous George Costanza soliloquy about the sea was angry that day, my friends, where he pulled the Titleist out of the marine biologists, is the name of the episode, where he grabbed the Titleist out of the whale blowhole that Kramer had hit the golf ball into. And he told basically the story that that marine biologist episode, that George was dating a marine biologist, and Kramer was hitting golf balls at the beach, but they never connected the two. And they came up with the idea the night before that the ball that Kramer was hitting on the beach was going to land in the whale's blowhole. And he and Larry David overnight wrote the speech that Costanza, that Jason Alexander was going to deliver the next day. And they said, here's a speech, learn it overnight. And he nailed it. And my favorite part of the way Seinfeld tells the story now is that he says that when they cut away to him and his eyes are like bug-eyed and his mouth is open, he's not acting. He's legitimately stunned that Jason Alexander is letter word for word perfect in delivering something that he had just been given, moments before.
That makes sense.
Nails it. So stuff like that, so many people quote that soliloquy, and now they get a backstory from it from Jerry Seinfeld himself. I mean, that's the mother load, man.
Yeah. I got to golf with Larry David recently. It was great.
Okay.
And you know what I love about Larry David? And other people like him,
yes,
who deliver on being Larry David.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I'm with Larry David, I don't want to be, actually in person, he's kind of, quiet. I don't want to be surprised.
Yes.
I want Arnold Schwarzenegger to be Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Right, sure.
I want Bill Belichick.
Sure.
If I meet Bill Belichick, I don't want to be, hey, Rob, gosh, I really loved Austin Powers. Listen, could you go? I want to be, hey, Rob, how you doing? It's good to see you. Like, I want people to be
okay,
who I imagine them to be.
Yes.
And Larry David did not disappoint. we get out on the tee. I hit a terrible drive.
Yes.
He goes, take another.
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure? He goes, take another.
Mm-hmm.
I take another, rip it right down the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I go to
mm-hmm.
that ball. He goes, wait a minute. Your ball's back there.
Mm-hmm.
I said, you
told me to take another.
You told me to take another. He goes,
yeah.
I said take another. I didn't say you could play it. And it's like a Larry David. It's a vintage Larry David moment.
Yeah. That's like a curb moment. Like, wait a minute. I thought you were giving me the grace.
And then it becomes a whole thing.
Yeah, it's your fault. I love that. That is so friggin' great. Although I don't want to burst your bubble about Bellichick. There's no doubt he would talk to you about what you've done for a living. And what he's liked and doesn't like. Because he is definitely a pop culture guy in a way that you wouldn't expect.
That's
more music,
amazing.
maybe. I've never really spoken movies with him, but just another quick story from that NFL 100 show. So Mean Joe Green is there.
Best commercial ever.
So we're coming in from a commercial break. We're not shooting it live. We're shooting it piecemeal.
Yeah.
So we're coming out of, a break. We've just finished a segment. We're about to start another one. And Bill Belichick says to me, about a minute before we're probably going to start, he says, would you mind if I asked the first question? And I'm like, damn, I never thought I would ever get that question posed to me by Bill Belichick. I'm like, of course, And I'm sitting there thinking to myself as we're coming back from getting ready. And I'm like, what's he going to ask? Like, is it the steel curtain defense? Or, what did Chuck Noll tell you, before... Where were you, for the immaculate reception on the sideline? You're like, it could go anywhere with Mean Joe Green. And we come back, and I'm like, all right, we're back here on the NFL 100 all-time team show. Coach, the floor is yours or something like that. And he says to him, he goes, that soda commercial you shot, how many takes was it? How many sodas did you have to drink before you got the shot? And I'm like, get the fuck, like, that's where he went. Like, the modern day Lombardi has one shot at asking me, Joe Green, a question. And he wants to talk about having a Coke and a smile.
It's the best.
It is, though. It really is.
Thanks, Mean Joe.
Hey, kid, catch.
Oh,
And he said that he drank like 30 bottles of that
And
soda.
I remember he is
chugging it,
guzzling.
Yeah.
He's not doing that fake actor drinking.
No.
Or fake actor thinking.
You would know what the art of trying to make it make it look something.
Fake it, yeah, because you're gonna. That's the thing. He's not a pro. See, if Mean Joe were an actor, he wouldn't have had 30. He would have 3.
That's it.
He would know. He'd be like, what? This is never going to use this angle. I'm just going to fake sip it. But no, it's
well, he's got to empty the bottle, so I guess he had no choice. There's no AI back in 1970, whatever.
Oh, he'd never heard of editing. Mean Joe Green.
Not his forte.
No, editing was
sacks the quarterback. That's all he did for a living.
That's all he does.
Yeah,
He'll never stop. So amazing.
I got one more story about Mean Joe Green.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that I'm full with these stories, man. You've been so kind of telling me stories, so I'll tell you another one about the respect people had in the NFL for Mean Joe Green. Marshall Faulk told me this story. So Marshall one day on the Rams playing the Arizona Cardinals. Mean Joe Green was an assistant coach on the it might have been even back in the Phoenix Cardinals days, and there was a running back on the Cardinals that was lighting the Rams up and was just yapping at the defense all day, and it pissed off Marshall because the guy wasn't all that good, and so and he was disrespecting his teammates. So Marshall ripped off this massive run on the Cardinals. And on the way back to the huddle, just gave a whole bunch of shit down the line. Every human being in the Cardinals sideline was getting it from Marshall Faulk. And he realized as he's going through, one of those people was Mean Joe Green standing there looking at Marshall Faulk getting MF'd by MF 28. And Marshall said he realized that. He caught himself before he goes back to the huddle, went right up to Mean Joe Green. He says, "Not you, Mr. Green." Not you. I didn't mean you.
He's called Mean Joe Green.
For a reason.
Not nice, forgiving.
That is
nice and forgiving Joe Green. That's an alternative universe.
Nice and forgiving Joe Green. Yeah.
As a movie fan, we should play my favorite game together.
Let's do it.
Okay, so my favorite game so for people who don't understand how things are written, a lot of times there's a writer's room, right? And it's writers sitting around eating bad pizza, watching YouTube, talking about their daily lives, and eventually getting down to the task at hand, which let's say it's writing a comedy or whatever, and they're pitching jokes. What if he says this? What if he says, just like you said, the Seinfeld story?
Sure.
I like to imagine a writer's room where they are thinking of what's going to become a famous movie moment, but they pitch an alternative version of the line that has become famous.
Okay.
For example, I know you're a big Few Good Men.
Sure.
Instead of like, so I think when Kathy really gets his goat on the stand, what if he says, "I want you to answer."
That's right.
And he says, "You don't enunciate well enough."
Yeah, right. Okay.
Like, it doesn't have the same, like, I was thinking,
you don't deserve my response.
You don't deserve, doesn't quite.
Doesn't have the same, like, you can't handle the truth, right?
Godfather. We negotiated, and I think my offer is pretty good. Doesn't really have the same Gone with the Wind.
Right.
Frankly, Scarlett,
whatever.
I could take it or leave it. Doesn't quite. You just go down the line of great.
Okay. So should I come up with one?
Yeah.
Okay. What's a good one? Okay. Life's like a bag of potato chips or something like that, right? Okay, all right, something similar to that.
How about, I was like, in Jaws, I think this boat is not the right size.
So you're more practiced at this than I am. Yeah. What is another one here? God bless it.
There's so many good. Okay, you just think of one of the most famous one-liners. Oh, at the end of Rocky, instead of
is Adrian here? Where is she?
Yeah.
Where are you, Adrian?
Yeah.
Raise your hand.
What section is she in? What section is she in?
Wait a minute. We didn't get her better seats?
Wait. And then instead of ain't gonna be no arenas, I don't want to fight again. I don't want to fight you again.
Oh my God. Come on, Rock.
Come on.
You're really good at this. You know? That's what's that. I always have to look it up. Is it crap lightning and eat thunder, or you eat lightning and crap? You know that line. I want you to crap thunder, eat lightning and crap thunder. I think that's one.
I
think that's a favorite.
He'll hate you permanent. That's another.
Burgess Meredith's finest. Yeah. This is good.
It's a good one.
I just
Butch
need a
Cassidy,
list of.
You're a big Butch Cassidy. There's got to be a famous line from Butch Cassidy.
Well, the Sting is my favorite.
Keep thinking, Butch. That's what you're good at.
That's right.
So you could be like,
keep workshop it. You're going to workshop it,
Butch.
Yeah,
but you really have some good ideas all the time. Not so stupid, really stupid. The Sting is a great movie.
That's my favorite.
Is your favorite movie?
Number one all time. I've watched it over.
Flanagan.
My favorite drama is The Sting, and my favorite comedy is one of two. It's Midnight Run,
yeah,
or The In-Laws.
They're
old
very
school In-Laws, the old school one. The
Serpentine.
The Peter Falk, Alan Arkin In-Laws, where he senses that Peter Falk is full of shit at the dinner table, talking about being a CIA guy openly, which would throw you that he's not on the up and up. Is he basically said that they had a problem in an African nation because there's a lot of red tape in the bush. And
amazing line.
And Alan Arkin's response is, "There's a lot of red tape in the bush." Like that's what that movie to me stands the test of time. But Midnight Run is the other one. Those are my favorite movies.
The Sting I was watching the other day.
So good, man.
It's so good. And we're talking about fake eating.
Yes.
Robert Shaw, where he invites Redford up to his room, and Robert Shaw's eating room service.
Do you want to know how do you do it?
Right,
yeah.
You're past posted,
aren't you?
You're past posted, aren't you? And he is eating so much food. And it's not fake eating. He is housing that Eggs Benedict.
Yes.
Or whatever. And it makes the scene so good.
Yes.
Like Tony Soprano ate he ate hoagies or whatever the hell. He ate all the time on screen. It was so good.
Brad Pitt, right? In Oceans, right? And he's eating in every scene, I think.
He's in the Hall of Fame.
Of eating.
Of movie eating Hall of Fame.
I didn't know there was such a thing. What city is that in?
It would be in
has the movie eating Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
where's that?
It might be Green Bay, where they have like somewhere where the food is like really yummy and not good for you.
Correct. A lot of fried food.
Yeah.
There's cheese curds. Might be the only thing he didn't eat in Ocean's 11.
After I'd run into Brad right after that movie came out, and I told him how much I loved it.
Yeah.
And the movie was just out. So there was people hadn't time to really break it down like you and I just did. And I said, I love how your character eats all the time. And he goes, shit, did I do it too much?
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
No, it's actually pretty good.
No,
well, and that game that you just mentioned too is Schwarzenegger tells a story all the time about "I'll be back" is "I will be back."
Yeah,
because he wanted to say
I might come back here.
It's right.
It's just like, can you imagine?
I shall return. That's not the same thing,
right?
Yeah.
No.
And he said, "I'll be back." You know.
Oh, how about like Clint Eastwood could say, "Go ahead." Make me happier than I am right now.
So, pal, are you feeling fortunate? You know, like that's
right.
How fortunate you feeling right now?
Luke, I am related to you in a way that will be surprising. It's so stupid.
I would love this game.
It's the stupidest game ever.
It is fun.
It's a stupid.
Just got to choose the right. You got to choose the right one.
Yeah, you got to choose the right one. This is a great one when you're like driving across country or like you're. It's just a dumb, stupid game. Let me ask you this.
Sure.
How do we feel about the Giants head coach Harbaugh?
Yes.
If he'd have waited a week,
he'd have gotten Josh Allen as opposed to
Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I still go for Giants.
Oh,
for sure. Not even a question.
Oh, I think so. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought so.
I mean, listen, coaching Josh Allen is
would
be spectacular.
He's a beast.
But I don't know if the Bills would have gone in that direction. I have no idea. I mean, timing is absolutely everything with these things too. So, he wasn't going to wait another week. He just wanted to move and act, and being the head coach of the Giants is pretty friggin' sweet.
I always thought Bellichick would eventually end up back there.
Me too. I thought so as well, but they were not. I mean, I don't think they were interested in. Again, no matter how great he is, you do want to have somebody that's going to be around for if it
works for 10
7,
years.
10, 12, 15 years.
Yeah.
So I just didn't think the timing was right.
You going to the Super Bowl?
I am, sir.
Me too.
Oh.
I'll see you there.
You going to wear your hat?
I'm going to wear it because I'm giving it to you afterwards.
Well, you're giving on loan. Again,
Yes.
You're giving me your NFL cap on loan.
I am giving Rich.
It's the scene of the crime as well.
It is the scene of the crime. It is. Rich, his set is amazing. It's got every piece of sports memorabilia you could ever possibly want to see.
Yes.
And cultural, not just sports.
Yes.
I think cultural would be fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to put on loan
yes, sir.
my NFL hat to you.
And it will be...
We already negotiated the placement, correct?
Exactly. It is right above an old school 1980s brick cell phone.
Amazing.
Autographed by both Michael Douglas and Charlie Sheen. It's not...
the Wall Street brick
The
phone.
Wall Street where, like, this is your wake-up call, pal. You know.
Great. Oh, that's a great one.
That's another one, too.
Oh,
like,
there you go.
Hey,
what would it be?
Hey, buddy, are you awake?
Or how about greed makes me happy?
It's right.
No.
It's another good one.
Right,
Something like that.
It's all those.
Yeah, like this is your wake-up call, buddy. Is Bud Fox. This is your wake-up call.
Oh.
So, that's where your hat will go. On loan, of course.
On loan.
Although we did just have, because I love Shrinking, and he's a great guest too. Ted McGinley just came on.
He's great.
And said that he would be willing to, on loan, give us his white suit from the Love Boat that he used to wear.
Oh, boy.
I said, bring it. Because he says it's moldy. He still has it. He doesn't know what he's going to do with it. I'm like, we'll take it. We'll dry clean it. We'll take it.
Those were the years when...
Oh, yeah, man.
Theme songs. I wish theme songs were still
We were talking about this the other day, too.
I just love it.
A guy who belongs to the golf club that I'm at, Mike Post, and he
wrote every great theme song.
Rockford Files, Hill Street Blues, just to name, obviously, too.
I mean, those are...
Rockford Files is...
the one for me.
You could make the case it's the greatest theme song.
It's so good.
Ever.
Like, I have a visceral, physical reaction when I hear that song.
Oh, yeah. I'm with you.
Right?
Yes. He wrote, obviously all the Bochco shows, and he is the king of that. There's just, I don't know. Now it's...
You know why they don't do him?
Because it takes too long. You got to stream. You don't want people to get out of it in 5 seconds.
The writers want more time to tell the story.
Got it.
They don't even... Forget theme songs. They don't even have credits.
That's true. Yeah.
And the writer... The people just want... But on...
Did Breaking Bad, was that the first one that was just...
Where they just went...
Where it was just a quick 5 seconds and that's it?
It's probably one of them.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to figure out when they first started.
I can tell you because the West Wing was the last. The West Wing and The Sopranos were the last big shows that I remember.
Right.
Other than streamer shows like Game of Thrones, it goes on forever.
I love it though.
It goes literally forever. I grew a beard like one of those, waiting for that fucking show to start.
My wife is the queen of skip intro.
I hate it. I love the intro.
I do too. We kind of like look at each other when the music starts for a show open, we kind of lock eyes because she knows I want to watch it and I know she wants to hit skip intro. I mean, all the Taylor Sheridan shows, I love the
Yes.
opens to them. I think some of them, they look like a Bond movie
They're
opening.
great, and they make me feel like
yes.
they
It
make
sets you up.
Yeah, it sets you up. It's like, yeah, this is fucking happening, man.
Right. And
We're doing this.
And I don't care that I've binge watched 8 of them already,
No.
and I've seen this open
1,000 times.
Exactly.
Literally, the Sopranos one, because Cheryl and I used to fight over the Sopranos one. Now, look, it's true. That might be the most boring. It's so boring that I love it. It's like he gets in a car, he drives. There's B-roll of a plane.
Yeah.
There's B-roll of a
It's
sign.
Newark Airport. It's the New Jersey Turnpike. I'm from Staten Island. I know exactly his entire trip.
His route.
Yes.
And then he gets... Oh, here's the other thing that I love about old TV is they were... The opening sequences, it was almost like, if people don't understand how the main character gets to work, I don't think the show works. Do you ever notice that? It's always
sure
the Newhart show.
Yeah.
All the shows were them coming out of their homes and getting to work.
Yeah, that's true.
As if we wouldn't understand the show.
Yeah, Barney Miller was walking the streets of New York a little bit before walking into the precinct.
The Odd Couple.
The Odd Couple. Holy
They're always
shit.
like...
That is one of the great... all right, I might have to amend. You know
what else? Freeze
can
frames.
Two divorced men...
Freeze frames.
Yeah, well, that was also my favorite part of Police Squad.
Oh, my God.
The 6-episode run that led to Frank Drebin getting a film series where the end they would freeze, play the theme music, and you'd see like the arms sort of lower down.
Yeah.
It's
amazing.
God,
show.
those freezes. Yeah. The freezes were all over Barney Miller because I am dude. I've got a sickness when it comes to this sort of stuff.
I know
can't
you do.
Get enough of it. I can't get enough of show opens. We played a game of true or false with Joe Burrow when he came on my show before he got drafted about things because he was going to definitely be a Cincinnati Bengal. And even though he's from Athens, Ohio, we quizzed him on what's true or false about Cincinnati. And I just said, you're the greatest radio station in Cincinnati is WKRP. It went right over his head. And I felt so old. I felt so old.
He's a baby.
Well, there's a guy named Venus Flytrap. And let me tell you something, Joe. It's a sickness of mine. But by the way, great show open there too.
So good.
Because some of them, so I'll ask you this. Do you prefer an old school show open with lyrics or you don't?
Oh.
Because Rockford Files doesn't have lyrics. You know what I mean?
Listen, Greatest American Hero.
Believe it or not, I'm walking on air.
Amazing.
Right. WKRP Cheers, where everybody knows your name.
The Happy Days theme.
Right. Friends.
Laverne and Shirley. Schlemiel, Schlemazel.
Haas and Pfeffer Incorporated.
Do you know what the difference between a Schlemiel and Schlemazel is?
I don't. Should I?
Yes.
Okay.
Here's what it is. A Schlemiel spills the drink.
Mm-hmm.
A Schlemazel has the drink spilled on them.
Now, you would want to be one of the few people I know that I'd be able to legitimately ask this question to and believe the answer that I think it is. Did Gary Marshall himself tell you this difference?
He did. He did.
I mean,
he did.
There's very few people on the planet that could.
Gary Marshall was at my wedding. Gary Marshall was at my wedding.
I believe. I would believe nothing else than that. Like that. You got the actual.
I got Gary Marshall to do a comedy punch up of my character in Wayne's World.
What do you mean?
I was like, I'd gotten Wayne's World.
Yeah.
And I was like, wanted to get it punched up, wanted to make it as good as I could get.
Yeah.
I wanted to and I think my wife was working with Al Pacino at the time as she was his makeup artist. And Al had a group of writers that he would just on standby for anything he ever did to just punch up his. I was like, I'm going to try that.
Uh-huh.
I know Gary Marshall, comedy genius.
Yes.
He's a mutual friend. And he wrote me, I remember he writing me this very elaborate speech for my character, but it was in Gary Marshall cadence. It was like, and that was you had to do it like Gary Marshall, like a Brooklyn guy.
Yeah.
And I remember doing it and Lorne Michaels going, I go, Gary Marshall wrote it. He goes, no, right. No, it's funny, but is it the right kind of funny? So it never made it into.
Never made it in.
Gary Marshall, a ghostwriter of Wayne's World.
Oh my God! you have to wonder, like 5-minute scenes where it's their only scene of a movie, and it becomes one of the most memorable parts of a movie, if in certain cases award-winning.
Yeah.
Gary Marshall in Lost in America telling Albert Brooks,
oh my God,
that your money is gone, that it doesn't matter about
Do
your
I
nest
look like
egg.
Santa Claus?
Santa Claus.
Amazing.
You lost. You lost. You know,
Is that what he says? I lost.
The nest egg
is
gone.
around.
Right,
It's
right.
a,
He wants that. The desert in. He came up with the concept because he was the ad executive coming up with the campaign to center around the one time that the Desert Inn is giving the money back to the loser.
It's amazing.
And Gary Marshall, you know, sort of finding him funny and going along with it until he's insulted. He goes, no, you know, we're done now.
We're done now.
And that's the end of the scene. We're done here, or something like that. That is truly...
Lost in America is a great one.
Right.
I would put Lost in... I think you need to reconsider.
For comedy?
And put Lost in America.
I haven't seen it in a while.
Because I feel like your two are too similar to me.
Really? Midnight Run and The In-Laws.
I know one's a... But
I guess both are road buddy sort of, you know, guys learning each other and then something about themselves at the same time. I could see that a little bit.
I'm also a big fan of Albert Brooks in what's the one where he's brokenhearted?
Modern Romance.
Modern Romance.
Sure.
That's a great one.
Yeah, that is a great one. That is a great one. But yeah, Gary Marshall, I wish his character was in more of that film. In the same way Dennis Farina was all throughout Midnight Run. His scenes with Philip Baker Hall were just the best. The absolute best.
The Desert Inn has heart.
The Desert Inn has heart.
The Desert Inn has heart. He does it like 5 times, just like melting. And the other thing is
melting.
Albert Brooks has one of it's not his death scene, but he kills Cranston in the movie. I think it's Drive.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's an amazing scene where he cuts his wrist. He goes, "It's okay. It's over. It's over now. It's over."
He's awesome. Okay. Albert Brooks
that is the creepiest,
the greatest,
most gnarly. It's over. It's all right. It's over now. It's
and
so
casting
good.
him in that
Right?
role. Yeah. I'm with you.
So good.
Yeah, I can't get enough of it.
What's your favorite movie of the year? We'll end with Super Bowl prediction and movie of the
okay.
Movie
My
of the
issue
year.
with the movie of the year is because I do what I do for a living. I haven't seen many of the best picture
of what you've seen.
Sinners.
Yeah,
Sinners.
It's pretty spectacular.
Oh my God. So I didn't see Sinners in the theater. For some reason, I don't know, it's so rare for me. I have a 17 and a 14 and a 12-year-old. I found myself alone in my house one night, like the greatest. Right. You know, for me, when my kids are gone or they're out of the house, whatever, for days in a row, first night is fucking greatest. You know what I mean? Like, this is great. This is the way life used to be, right?
That's right. Yeah.
And then after a while, I don't know what to do with myself, you know? And then I just realized, where are the kids? You know, and but anyway, so this first night, I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to watch Sinners. And I put the movie on, and it starts getting wild. It starts getting really wild. And I'm like, you know what? This is weird, but I'm going to do this anyway. I'm going to put the alarm on. Because not like I'm thinking there are vampires outside of my house, but I know it's not rational. What I did was not rational, but I'm going to put the alarm on. So I put the alarm on, and then the scene, I don't want to give too much away, but I'm sure most people have seen it when the vampires really start hitting.
Yeah.
It was some wild, loud scene that I guess I had the volume on too high. It set off one of the glass breaks.
No way.
Here I was,
dude,
setting the alarm through some irrational fear that vampires were outside my house. And then the vampires show on screen and the alarm goes off. I lost my shit. And the only other time like that in my life was years and years, obviously, before my parents were out of the house and they had set the VCR timer to go off for their favorite show that they were recording. And I was watching The Shining for the first time. And the VHS machine went off on its own. And I lost my shit there too. So it was, Sinners was that believable. And also, I sit there and I wonder, how the hell does Ryan Coogler think of this? Like, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do something like Sinners. I'm going to come up with a thoroughly out of whole cloth, outrageously original idea. And then I'm going to make it look beautiful. And then I'm going to cast Michael B. Jordan as two different people, but they're the same, they're twins. How, and then soundtrack and music and where did that come from? Like, how the hell does somebody sit down and then put it on paper and communicate it to other people about how to bring it to life? To me, that's what makes it the best.
AI
movie.
will never do that.
No.
It'll never do
Hell
that.
yeah.
It'll
you know
never
what I mean?
do that. Ever, ever.
Never. And so it's so original and it's so beautifully shot and so incredibly acted. And it scared the shit out of me. And that is the best movie I've seen this year.
And Super Bowl pick.
I have to take Seattle.
Yeah, I think so too.
I really do.
Revenge game.
Well, from 2014 is what you're referring to.
Worst coaching decision in the history
which
of
is
sports.
to not give it to Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, worst ever. Never, ever will it be a worst coaching decision ever.
Well, and again, the thing about it is it's entirely possible that Russ might have done that on his own. And nobody's going to throw him under the bus because they're all professionals. Or Russ didn't want to do it and it got picked off. Or that was the play call and Malcolm Butler was coached up by, just to bring this all full circle, Bill Bellichick, who also didn't call a timeout and let the time tick down.
Got him nervous.
And maybe got them a little bit more sped up.
Yep.
So yeah, there's that. And I've never, because that was the first Super Bowl that I ever did for NFL Network where I didn't also have to do the post game. Because the year before it was in New York City where the Seahawks beat your guy Peyton and the Broncos. And that was in New York. And I did the pre and the post and, third quarter, fourth quarter, because we're up at ass crack of dawn. And now it's like 10 o'clock at night. And the analysts, my Hall of Fame analysts, Sapp and Irv and Falk and Dion, I'm going on the air after with them. And the game was a blowout. They were barely awake. And I say to, my executive producer, I'm like, what are we doing here? Like we're all falling asleep. So next year when it's in Arizona, how about we split it up? I'll do the morning if you want, or I'll do the after, whatever you want. But both is insane. So it was the first time that I'd never worked after a Super Bowl. So I was in the stands. My wife is from New England.
Oh my God.
And so they were all in the stands, brother-in-law, mother-in-law. They're all decked out in the Patriots gear, just like a whole bunch of other ones. And they were crying. Everyone was crying because Marshawn was going to get the ball and this thing was going to be over. And the Seahawks fans were ebullient. They were off their rockers.
Yeah.
And I have never in any of my days of covering anything from ESPN Sports Center to the present day, I've ever seen one play flip an entire stadium's emotions from one to the other, where every Patriot fan crying was now just like every Seahawk fan before, and every Seahawk fan that was thrilled were now crying. I've never seen anything. The only thing that's ever come close to it was the 2001 World Series where the Diamondbacks came back on the Yankees in Game 7, and Diamondback fans were despondent, and then at the end of the day, not, and the Yankees fans were the opposite. But that was a ninth inning that took probably 10, 15 minutes to play out.
Yeah, this is one moment.
Snap of a finger. And I've never seen anything like it. So, yeah, I mean, there is that sort of revenge, but there's nobody, like not even Vrabel was associated with the team.
Yeah,
he was gone.
Yeah, no. It's fans.
But for
only.
fans,
For
you
fans,
bet. Well,
big
for
deal.
Seahawk fans, for them to go through the Niners
Yep.
and the Rams, to go to the home of the Niners, to avenge their loss to the Patriots, to win it all in the house of the San Francisco 49ers, where they can return to forevermore for every single time and play a game there and say, oh yeah, this is where we won it all on your ground.
Yeah.
It is just the ultimate. Like, they are geeking out over it. But, you know, I've heard of a story about a second-year quarterback playing out of his skull for a head coach getting his second crack at being a head coach, going against an NFC West team that was supposed to spank that Patriots team, and they won it and started a dynasty off of it. And here comes second-year quarterback Drake May with Mike Vrabel in his second crack at it, taking on an NFC West team that everybody's expecting to spank him.
Yep.
So anything can happen, man.
Good storylines.
It's the truth. Oh, that's me. I'm not an X's and O's guy. I'm not going to sit here and say, well, the Jackson Smith and Jigba, Christian Gonzalez matchup favors this guy, or that's not my bag. My bag is narratives and storylines and journeys traveled, and that's my jam. That's my bag.
It'll be fun. Let's catch up there for sure.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Oh, I got to get the hat.
The hat.
At the very least.
The hat's coming,
Although
baby.
I might just give you the address, because I wanted game worn. By the way, not many famous hats like that alone. Because you said it was part of like an NFL PowerPoint presentation, right?
Yeah,
That's what you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Goodell says he uses that picture of me in that hat in the NFL PowerPoint.
Yeah, because you're rocking the shield, sir.
The shield.
Right.
I play for the shield.
And so that in and of itself, just the famous aspect of the hat, for it to be game worn at an NFC Championship game and a Super Bowl by Rob Lowe.
That's a good point.
So
I
think a game worn twice, not just any game. It's not like some week 14 game between, a 3-6 and a 4-5 team. No, the stakes are at its highest when you're rocking the shield lid.
You need to up your insurance policy.
Okay.
In the studio.
Understood.
This is great, brother. Thank you.
Hey, man.
So fun. Thanks for doing it.
Anytime.